she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad, and but it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. You know, I knew that right away.
And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up. I mean, I don't know, it seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck, and I've never heard of it until just recently.
Hi, my name is Dee, and you're watching Dee True Crime Commentary. This video is under the Fair Use Act of 1976, fair use for commentary and for information. Summer Wells was reported missing on June 15, 2021 at approximately 6:30 p.m. Her dad called and her mother called in. An Amber Alert was issued by the FBI, and there were massive searches for the next 6 weeks. A reward fund was started, and it climbed up to $73,000. Why has the neighbor lady butted into this case?
Sent down for dogs if they have to be brought in. So, also, it's a good way to check, even though, but with your feet on what's in the bottom and deepest spots. Sometimes I keep it on the bank, the hill. Before I'd stepped into the creek, I could hear the boys go down the left side of their property towards the creek on that side that I had looked down towards earlier. And there was a point there when, I could tell that Candace and the boys had met up when they were hollering for Summer and circling the hill. So anyway, I'm stepping into the creek. I was, not too far in. So anyway, as I was looking, went a few feet, in to the water, but,
But y'all get it through your thick heads right now. This lady is the authoritarian on the Summer Wells case. It's her way or no way at all. She was the first one to search for Summer, and she's the one that heard the scream. So y'all get that through y'all's thick heads right now, because she would have it no other way.
20 feet maybe from the road, I don't know, maybe less than that, I don't know. Wasn't too far in when I hear a car coming down Candace's driveway. And her talking to somebody, which I assume was somebody in the car with her. But as I hear her getting closer, I come back out the creek and jump up. Out of, and then into the roadway. And she's in Grandis's vehicle. And, which, kind of confused me at first. Grandis's was ahead of it, so that's why she's in Grandis's.
And then she drug him into it, Andy Bernard.
Track when I left, and I got rid of it, and then, she had access to all the accounts. My Messenger account. I had lost a phone in D.C., I thought, where my phone disappeared somewhere thereabouts, or I lost it or something. It popped back up. So, in my opinion, stuff was weird. I've been tracked before and asked about why I was certain places that I honestly wasn't. Some places.
Found y'all's daughter because she's deathly afraid of you because you came home in a huff and puff and you threatened her that you saw Summer's trigger warning people, but you saw Summer's unalived body, and Jody Sue says you used that to scare your child with. Can you tell us a little bit more? I know you did mention that it was a dream you had, but can you kind of tell us?
I never said I seen her body. I said I had a dream that I seen her body. Yes.
Okay.
A few days after music, and I'm pretty sure it correlated with all that. So I don't think it was a conversation between me and my daughter. I think my daughter heard a conversation between me and Jody Sue talking about said thing. Maybe me and Jody Sue was arguing at some point in time. I don't honestly remember at that point in time, between me done being ready to leave the house, leave everybody behind, just walk away from everybody because I couldn't handle it no more.
Oh no, here come all the threats and the tragedy pimping right here. This is where it started. This is where it all started, right here.
And she wants no contact. She wants her name not to be on his lips. So do the judges in courts in those papers. He's abusing a child in open by calling her a fucking liar about what he said. It wasn't poor Hims that had a dream. He'd ever cared enough about anybody to have a fucking dream about him. Especially not Summer.
But that day, I went down to the cabin. I sat outside the cabin while he was, on his escapade about whatever it was. Then I got into the cabin after he screamed at me about being near the cabin. And then he comes back a few minutes later after storming off. And then he comes down, says something he said to Book.
Which is her brother.
Yeah. And then he started screaming again, and then he was like, I already know Summer's dead bodies. I know Summer's dead somewhere in a ditch, I know Candace did it. I know Dawn did it, whatever. And, he was just screaming about that. And then, and then he was like, after that, it was like, I'm so tired of, he mispronounced Equisearch. And he said Aquasearch. He screamed, I'm so tired of Aquasearch. Holding me back to all these police officers and stuff. And he was on about that. And he was screaming it. And, yeah. And then he went back onto the Summers dead body thing. In worse detail.
All I've really ever sold was weed because it's kind of like a victimless crime. I mean, everybody pretty much smokes weed. Even the police smoke weed. Oh. The time we got together, I was sleeping with everything and anything that walks, run, 18 to 85, mind, deaf, dumb, retarded. I mean, excuse my language, but I mean, if you have a certain amount of time to get from point A to point B, and I mean, do you have just 5 minutes to 15 minutes satisfy you in an escapade? I do things with my wife. I do things for my parents. I do other things. I don't revolve on this. I'm trying to move on from my past life and the things that occurred in my past relationship.
Now we might find out where Jody Sue gets her capacity for land rents right here, because that's all he talks about for 4 minutes. They feel some kind of way.
Talking about?
I'm talking about the Redmonds property.
Okay.
Other than the property that Fred has, that where his camper's at, that his mom bought during the auction when I was in jail for my drug charges, they auctioned off my great grandma Hill's property for $130,000, and it was 265 acres. But all you had to pay down was 10% for 30 days. And there was enough logs on that property to be able to log and sell off and pay for the rest of that property, but nobody would do it. And JL screwed everybody out of it. Am I lying, Fred? How do you feel?
I feel the same.
Okay, so I don't deal with Redmond.
Fields Road, that on the 15th?
Maybe later on that night. I don't remember doing it earlier in the evening just to look. I mean, I think we went down there just to check, see if anybody was around for the Jackie Dobbs situation.
The Fields Road search. Did you go down to Fields Road on the 15th? Or why? Do you know anything about that property of your guys's, Andy, being focused on?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, they searched all down through there. Like, it wasn't just Fields Road. They've come through the mountain back there in between Ben Hill Road and Fields Road. I don't feel that he knows, and I can't tell you nothing.
He didn't say he didn't know. He said he can't tell us. There's a difference.
In 2 barrels that is sitting on my property that I need to deal with. I've seen
Right.
Hunter. I've seen, I think, Jose that one time. I've seen this dude, Bob. I can tell you who's from Arkansas.
I've seen you go in past my driveway many times.
Yeah, just to go in, turn around, come back out. I don't know Ed. I ain't never talked to Ed. I talked to him a time or two. I don't much like him. I don't think he much likes me either. I know he don't like you.
What I think this all comes down to is some land revenge. Somebody's mad because they didn't get some land, and somebody else got the land that they didn't think deserved it. Please be sure to leave a comment and let me know what you think. I'd appreciate it. And y'all hold it tight, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching.
So, I mean, I honestly, me personally, I feel some sort of way that I didn't get to buy that because of JL's some bitching ass. If I'd have been out of jail, I'd have had the money to pay $130,000 for 265 acres and close on it in 30 days. If I'd have been out of jail, I would have bought that property. And I do feel some sort of way that some son of a bitch that I don't like and that won't let us freely walk across our great grandma's property has it and wants to fuss about us going up through there, that we've done it our whole life.